Donald Trump is facing a new crisis, courtesy Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. 2 days ago, Israel attacked Qatar, a direct military strike. It was a bold move and a major blow to America's Gulf strategy. Qatar is a key U.S. defense partner. It's a critical node in West Asia's military balance. Remember, less than 4 months back, Trump was in Doha, the capital of Qatar. It was his first foreign trip as president in the second term. And Trump signed a major defense pact. It was meant to deepen ties and cement Qatar's role in America's West Asia policy. But Israel, which is another close American ally in the region, may have bombed that agreement. Inside the White House, there's growing frustration. President Trump is not happy. Fresh reports have emerged. They say Trump spoke with Netanyahu after the strike on Qatar. The call happened on the same day, and according to senior U.S. officials, it was a heated exchange. Trump told Netanyahu that the strike on Qatar was, quote-unquote, unwise. And what was Netanyahu's response? Well, he said he had only a brief window to act, so he decided to go ahead. And the conversation did not end there. A second phone call followed, apparently on the same day. This time, Trump was more measured. He asked Netanyahu if the strike had worked, and Netanyahu said he wasn't sure. Hours later, the Hamas confirmed the toll. 6 lower-level operatives were killed, but the Hamas leadership survived. Later, Trump spoke to the press and he said he was unhappy about the situation.
Well, I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't have to do that. I'm not thrilled about the whole situation. It's not a good situation. I was very unhappy about it. Very unhappy about every aspect. And we got to get the hostages back. But I was very unhappy about the way that went down.
The number of times he said very unhappy. So what made him so unhappy? Well, Trump learned about the strikes well after they began, and that too not from Israel, but from the U.S. military. In other words, Netanyahu once again kept him in the dark. What's worse, he attacked Doha, the capital city of Qatar. Israel says the target was Hamas leadership in the city. Washington says Qatar was informed in advance, but Qatar says that's a lie. In fact, they have publicly rejected the claim. And this only deepens Trump's problems. For months, he has pushed for a ceasefire in Gaza and for the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. But this strike has killed any prospects of peace. You see, Qatar was the one leading the talks. It was mediating between Israel and Hamas, and Israel went ahead and bombed it. As the Qatari Prime Minister puts it, Netanyahu has, and I'm quoting, killed any hope of a hostage deal. He called the airstrike on Doha an act of state terror. And how did Netanyahu respond? Well, he has issued a warning to Qatar.
We went after the terrorist masterminds who committed the October 7th massacre. And we did so in Qatar, which gives safe haven. It harbors terrorists. It finances Hamas. It gives its terrorist chieftains sumptuous villas. It gives them everything. And I say to Qatar and all nations who harbor terrorists, you either expel them or you bring them to justice. Because if you don't, we will.
Doha has called an emergency summit. They've called Arab leaders to meet over the weekend. They will discuss Israel's attack and possibly a response. Now, whichever way you look at it, West Asia is more unstable, if that was even possible. And once again, Israel is at the center of the storm. Also, the strike on Qatar was not isolated. It's part of a wider escalation. In the past 72 hours, Israel has attacked 5 countries. 5 countries in 72 hours, and this is apart from its war in Gaza, which is also intensifying. Israel is pounding Gaza with airstrikes. At least 150 people have died this week. On Monday, Israel also struck 2 districts in Lebanon. 5 people were killed. Israel said it was targeting Hezbollah positions, even though they have a ceasefire in place with the Hezbollah. Next, Israel struck Syria. It hit a Syrian Air Force base in Homs. The 4th target was Tunisia. Reports say Israel struck it with a drone on Monday. It hit a ship that was bound for Gaza. The 5th operation was in Qatar. We've already told you about it. And yesterday, Yemen was hit. Israel bombed the Sana'a airport. Fires were seen on the tarmac. So this is escalating. Israel is widening its campaign. Its war is spilling across borders and dragging more countries into the crisis. Yesterday, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with Qatar's Amir and he condemned the Israeli strikes on Doha. The government statement does not name Israel, but it terms the strike, and I'm quoting, a violation of sovereignty. Prime Minister Modi also asserted the need for dialogue and diplomacy. In fact, that's been India's position all along. For Donald Trump, West Asia is becoming a headache. He prides himself on restraint. He loves to claim that he is ending wars across the world, but he is clearly failing in West Asia and struggling to reign in Israel, an ally that keeps defying America's warnings.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.